Hi, this is Ron. Tonight, Mike and I have a special guest. Our old coot friend, Joe, is on. We found out Joe's lived 98 years now. And in the year 2022, he'll be 100. So, you there, Joe?
Yeah.
We're going to honor you tonight with the decades of your life.
Yeah, I'm here, Ron. Go ahead.
Okay, great. It's good to be interviewing you tonight. We're going to start out by asking you some questions about your life and from the time you were born way back in, I guess, 1922. And we're going to ask you what you remember, anything you remember about the almost 10 full decades of your life. Okay?
That's fair enough. Fair enough. Ron, let's go.
Let's go, huh?
Yeah, when you get to be my age, you ain't got much time left, let me tell you.
All right. Okay. We're going to start with questions. I had a couple questions written down here for you. And
I'm still waiting, son.
I don't know if Mike's got one right now. What's that, Joe?
I'm still waiting on you, son. Hurry up with the first question.
I know. All right. Anyway, in my notes here, I had one for you. Well, I'll tell you what. I do remember this one. Let's see. You were in that first decade, like in the Roaring 20s. You were born during the Roaring 20s, like in 1922. So, do you remember anything about the Roaring 20s and the, I guess they call them clappers or something like that? It's like the dancing that went on and what some of these flappers, yeah. What women wore and the fashions of that day. I mean, you were of a tender age. You reached the tender age of 7 or 8 by then. Do you remember any of that back in the 1920s?
Actually, I do. I do for a fact, yes. Of course, I remember it, but I wasn't able to dance it. You know, not like my parents were. You know. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The Roaring 20s were. From what I remember, was an ass-kicking time. Yes, it was. I mean, everybody had a ball no matter where they went to. Everybody was so friendly and everything. Not like some people are today, you know. They don't give you the time of day. You know, yeah. Yeah, it was the best time in my life, yeah. Back when I was younger.
All right. Well, so you remember some things there, don't you?
Well, yeah, because I was a whippersnapper then, you know, and I had to admit, you know, I wasn't the handsome lad I used to be at least now, you know. Yeah, I remember a whole bunch of that dancing stuff going on, yeah, the best time ever, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, Mike, when you have a question, just chime in. I've got a few of them here, but there's another one for you. In 1929 came the Great Depression. Do you remember anything about that? You were kind of young then, probably 8 or 9. Do you remember anything about the Depression and how your family might have gotten through that? Were you guys poor and broke during the Depression, or did you fare well?
Well,
and if you did fare well, how did you do that? Go ahead, Joe.
It's like this, son. This is how it worked. The Great Depression came along, and everybody lost all their money in the bank, and people jumped off the buildings that are dead. People had jobs, so like it is now, you know, not too much more from it. In fact, I think we're going through a worse time now than we did in 1929. And other than that, you know, I have to say, my father, you know, he did quite well for us. The depression and all, because my father, he was a moonshiner for sure. Yeah, yeah. And he always made sure there was food on the table. As a matter of fact, he helped a couple of neighbors along the line, feeding them and, things like this, paying their bills. Oh, he was a good man, he was. Yep, yep.
So there was food and booze on the table, huh?
No, my father made sure of it. My father made sure, yes. I mean, the money I got from the...
Mike,
well, the money my father got from running the moonshine, and everything, but he got food on our table, and, that was okay. He helped other families as well, yeah.
Well, we're certainly speeding along. Well, thank you for the information, Joe.
Not a problem.
Let's see. So now we've got 1930 to 1940 covered. That's the second decade of your life. Let's go to 1940 to 1950. That had to be quite a decade. What do you remember about the 1940s now? That was when we got into, let's put it this way. In 1941, Pearl Harbor happened. The attack on Pearl Harbor by the Japanese. Where were you? A lot of people remember these momentous events and where exactly they were when this happened. Where were you when the attack on Pearl Harbor happened, Joe?
Well, you'll never believe me if I tell you, but I was on the crapper, believe it or not, and I heard the bombs dropping and the bombs hitting the ships and the grounds. Oh, I had to run. I never cleaned up so fast in my life. Yeah, and everybody said, "Where are you going?" I said, "We're crazy. We're being bombed by the Japs." So I grabbed the first machine. I grabbed the first machine gun I could and did my thing. I got shot twice though in the process.
Yeah. Is this where you got involved with the Marines at the tender age of 18? Did you volunteer then?
Absolutely. It was my civic duty to volunteer. That's my country. I had to. Of course, my...
How about that?
Yeah, so, my wife wasn't too happy with it, when I come home and everything. And she knew I was shot and everything. She wasn't happy about that, boy, and taken. Just like the time I got shot in the tuchus. They told me it was a $1 million wound. And I'm still today waiting on that $1 million, but I ain't seen a nickel of it.
Right. Well, you're jumping up to the Korean War, right? That's when you got shot in the tuchus, as you said, right?
Yeah, I'm still waiting on the money. Ain't done nothing.
Yeah. Mike, you told me something about Joe playing a trumpet, or no, was it the trumpet or something like that? But it wasn't really a trumpet he was playing. What was that, Mike? You were telling me. Maybe you have a question for Joe about that.
Joe, how was that?
Well, it was like this. I remember I used to be able to imitate a lot of things, and I used to imitate trumpet sounds. And one day, I remember when I was in training, and the drill sergeant came by, and he thought I was actually playing a trumpet, when all I was doing was playing with my lips, so to speak, and making a trumpet sound. I was blowing reveille taps, oh yeah, singing good old songs with my lips, and he really thought I had a trumpet. Unbelievable.
Can you give singing taps, Joe?
Sure. No, why not? Hope I remember this one. And so on and so forth.
How about reveille? Give us a reveille.
And so on and so on and so on.
Yeah, that's jazzy. Thank you, Joe.
You're welcome.
Very good. Okay. Well, something else that I want to ask you about this decade. Let's see. Did I? Well, I mean, I know you joined the Marines and stuff like that.
Yep.
You've been pretty active in the Marines. I heard you were in the Marine Reserve too, between the Korean War and World War II. World War II and the Korean War, which came afterward. What did you do while you were in the reserves? You must have had a regular job, did you not?
Well, I did. Since my father was a moonshiner, I thought I'd keep the business going, tradition-wise. And, I thought I'd keep it going, so I became a moonshiner and I made a lot of money.
You had to keep the food and the booze on the table, huh?
Oh, absolutely, why not, yes.
Oh, I thought you had some scrapings with Hollywood or something like that. Weren't you a bit actor or something like that? Didn't I hear anything about that?
Oh, yeah, I did. I was in vaudeville for a while. I played with some of the best of them.
Some of the best of them, huh?
Yeah.
Well, anyway. Well, you didn't get quite as famous as Gabby Hayes, I guess, but, you did well for yourself, I suppose. But, hey, thank you for your service in the Marines. Tell us why, after all the action, I think you were in the Pacific Theater, and you were also across the Atlantic fighting in Europe during World War II, and they wanted you, they actually called you back from the reserves to go to Korea, or did you volunteer for that? What's that story on that?
Oh, they wanted me back.
Where you got the $1 million wound? Go ahead, Joe.
Well, they wanted me back because I used to work in special operations. And they wanted me back because of my knowledge. And, all the sneaky things I could do then, which I can't mention now, but that's all I can say about it. And I spent the remainder of my time in special operations. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, sometime in the 1950s, the Korean conflict was over. Well, it's a stalemate to this very day, actually. Well, this was quite some decade, Joe. So, at about age 30, you were called from the reserves to serve, right, in that conflict.
That's right.
So, can you talked about this $1 million wound last time we talked with you, that you got, you were shot in the tuchus, you said.
That's what I said. What, you hard hearing?
Did you heal well enough to, enjoy the rock and roll era? Did you have any part in the rock and roll era? Okay, go ahead.
Thank you, Ron.
It's about time to wrap it up there, Joe. Go ahead and sign off for us, Joe. Go ahead.
Oh, thank you, Mike. Well, I'd like to say thank you. I don't know how good I'm doing this or not, but I'll try my best. Thank you to everybody who's helping us with this coronavirus and everything. And Ron, thank you for having me on the show again. And I just want to say that I hope that this coronavirus soon that they have a cure for it. Other than that, I wish each and every one of you the best. Stay safe. God bless you. He blessed me 98 years. Thank you, and good night.
Thank you, Joe. You'll be able to hear part 2 in a day or so. See y'all later.